guys, it's Miss Maddie. Welcome to another night of bedtime stories. So excited to have you here. And the book that I picked for tonight is called Mrs. McTat's and Her House Full of Cats. I love this book because I love cats, so I feel like it was kind of written for me. And plus, the kids that I nanny for, we read this book almost every day. It's just one of our favorites. So I am excited to share it with you guys too. In a small, cozy cottage lived Mrs. McTat's. She lived all alone, except for one cat. Every morning she left as the clock struck 8. To market, I mustn't be late. She browsed through the market and chose a plump fish. For Abner and me, what a sumptuous dish. But when she got home, there came a scratch on the door, and in walked 2 cats. Was there room for 2 more? Come in, my sweet dears, said Mrs. McTat's. I'm sure I've got room for just 2 more cats. I'll call you Basil, and Curly you'll be. I only had 1 cat, but now I have 3. The very next morning, Mrs. McTat's woke early. She stopped to pet Abner and Basil and Curly. To market, I mustn't be late. This chicken, I think, will surely taste great. But when she got home, there came a scratch on the door, and in walked 3 cats. Was there room for 3 more? Come in, my sweet dears, said Mrs. McTat's. I think I've got room for just 3 more cats. Now give me a moment. What shall your names be? You're Dolly, you're Ernest, and Fuzzy makes 3. The very next morning, off went Mrs. McTat's. What can I buy for my 6 hungry cats? I've got it, she said. I'll make a nice stew. So she carried home beef and liver to brew. But back at home, there came a scratch on the door, and in walked 4 cats. Was there room for 4 more? Come in, my sweet dears, said Mrs. McTat's. I know there's a place for just 4 more cats. 10's a fine number, 10 cats and me. I'll call you Goldie, and Herman you'll be. Izzy and Jezebel pranced across the floor, and then, right behind them, followed 5 more. Coco and Linus, Millie, Noreen, and you shall be Oscar. There, that makes 15. The very next day, off went Mrs. McTat's. What can I possibly feed 15 cats? She chose a fresh tuna. She chose a fine trout. But when she got home, her cats were all out. She counted her cats from 1 to 15, but somehow 6 more cats had just joined the scene. Come, my sweet dears, said Mrs. McTat's. I'm sure I have plenty for 21 cats. Pip, Quip, and Rosebud, Sally and Tozy. Ursula dear, do make yourself cozy. But then came another scratch on the door. Could it be more cats? Oh, how many more? In came Violet, in came Winnie, and just behind, a kitten she named Zinny. In came Yodel, the last of the bunch. 25 cats, ready for lunch. But something was missing. What could it be? Just what it was, Mrs. McTat's could not see. As she stood there puzzling, there was a scratch on the door, and Mrs. McTat's wondered, could there really be more? Could she squeeze in more cats? More than 25? Who was the one who was next to arrive? Come in, my sweet dear, said Mrs. McTat's. I live in this cottage with 25 cats. But if you don't mind, you're welcome to stay. You're welcome to eat. You're welcome to play. Now in that small cottage lives Mrs. McTat's, all happy and cozy with her 25 cats. And one little puppy who's known as Zoom. in a small cozy cottage with plenty of room. And just when the clock strikes each morning at 8, Mrs. McTat hurries off. I mustn't be late. To market, what treats will there be for 26 sweet dears from A to Z? Well, that's the end, guys. So glad that you joined us tonight. And even though we are not all at church together, you can still hop on Facebook Live and watch the sermon from the couch. And if you actually have your mom and dad go to the website, there is a video for you guys and an activity sheet as well. And if you send in a picture to any one of us at the kids team, we will put 100 tribbles in the jar. And I bet you that we will earn our way to a party in no time. So hope you guys are staying safe and healthy, and can't wait to be back at church with you again soon. Bye-bye.